Hi Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your November 2021 full moon reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. How will Sagittarius be affected by the November 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the Tower, and we have Justice. So this is Libra energy. Justice, it represents Libra in the major arcana. What we're going to also find is that as things change, we are stepping more and more and more into being just to ourselves, into being aligned with the justice that we want within our world and the way that we're moving ourselves forward. It moves us to our our inner selves, which is the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Wands, and the Hierophant. So also, if we have justice, if we have Libra within our natal chart, it comes through very powerfully at our root. Now here, within our inner selves, we are greatly affected by this full moon. So the full moon is in Taurus. We have the Hierophant right here coming through. This full moon really does pack a wallop for us. We then have the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Wands. We have here our fire energy coming up with the Queen of Wands. We also have Aries and Leo coming forward, and then we have the Queen of Cups, which represents water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. So the Sun is in Scorpio, so we have this time being very highly impactful on us. Also, if any of this is within our natal chart, those parts of our personality are going to be coming out more forcefully during this time. Our emotional self, the Knight of Wands, and the Knight of Swords. Our passion is really going to be leading us forward. Again, we have fire sign energy, ourselves coming through as knights. Knights protect queens. There's the passion of our heart, protecting the way that we're moving forward in our inner selves. We also have here the air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, amplifying the Libra energy at our root. Then we have our public arena self, we have the High Priestess and the Two of Cups. We are seeing beyond the veil. We are seeing so much more than even people intend us to see. And there's a sense of unity. There's a sense of falling in love with our lives and ourselves and what we need. But also we have the High Priestess and we have the Hierophant. So in some old tarot decks, the High Priestess is known as the female Pope. Now, whether you believe in Pope Joan or not is irrelevant. We have the Pope here, because that's what the Hierophant is, the Pope, and then we have the female Pope. And so we have the masculine and feminine coming forward in our lives, in our inner selves, in our public arena, and that's going to be where we're really embracing the unity and where we're really finding the unity within us. Now, let's look at our energy to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is the Prince of Swords, which is interesting that it also comes through at our emotional level. The Prince of Swords is telling us, don't fly off the handle. Just don't. We're going to have a tendency to want to. We're going to not want to think things through as much and just go and just do and just see and just become. And Spirit's saying here, be mindful of this. Be mindful of this and ground yourself. We're also going to find it very easy to be caught up with people who just, push themselves forward, who are just going and going and going and going and going, and yet don't become anything. So do be mindful of that as well. We have our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show us clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Family, this is the root chakra. We're looking at our connection with family, either the family we were born into, the family that raised us, the family that we've created. And so here we have that family coming forward, and we have the sense of connecting with our root, with the people who will take care of us, who will nurture us, and who help us to be our very best selves. So let's look at the astrological aspect of this time. On the 19th of November, we have the full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus, which has a great effect on us personally. It is very important to understand that everything is more intense when there is a lunar eclipse. So as the full moon always represents, the sun is opposite the moon, which brings with it all our relationships coming into sharp focus, as well as making us aware of the opposite forces in our lives: work, home, wants, needs. This is also the longest moon of this time. So we're going to find that the effects linger with us longer than with other moons. We're also a lot more emotionally aware and more spiritually and personally plugged into what we want and what we need. A lunar eclipse represents the resetting of our emotions and a clearing away of a lot of the baggage that we've been carrying for the past 6 months, which is greatly needed. There's been a gray around the world, around us, for the last 6 months, or even better, with everything that's been going on, everything that we've been through. And there's just a sense of a purging really coming forward. The full moon is in Taurus, which is the second sign in the zodiac, and this means that it is naturally linked with the second house, which represents the material world, material things, material life, food, the body, and the well-being. We are going to be told to pay attention to the quality of things, not the quantity of things. The sun is in Scorpio, which is the 8th sign in the zodiac, and this means that it is naturally linked with the 8th house, which is the house of regeneration and death. We can get a little bit kind of weirded out with that, but what it really means is that a door to another world is opening. As the second house and Taurus have us focusing on the material world, the 8th house and Scorpio have us connecting with the spiritual world and the esoteric side of life. These two aspects need to be balanced, or else we're going to feel like we're pulled in one extreme or the other, and never really have our footing or our balance during this time. Taurus and the second house also have us linked with Mother Earth and what we are earning and how we are able to provide for ourselves. We need to connect with the earth more. We need to ground ourselves, because there can be a tendency here during this time to kind of just like feel disconnected and feel just all wrapped up in one thing. It's either going to be all about how much we're earning, or all about how much we're saving or not earning, and this can bring a lot of stress into our lives. While Scorpio in the 8th house have us linked to the banks and how we are able to save once everything is taken care of. The moon is going to be squared Jupiter. Now this is going to be very impactful for us Sagittarius, because we are ruled by Jupiter. This brings a hopefulness and enthusiasm into our lives, though it also amplifies our emotional response to things. So we have to be mindful of our hearts and our reactions. We can tend to react too much to something, or we can tend to just react just purely emotionally. We have a tendency towards moodiness, irritability, and carelessness, so just be aware of this. This is going to be for everybody. Everybody has a tendency towards moodiness, irrationality, and carelessness. So we can find this to be very frustrating, especially since our emotions can be getting the better of us. We are being told to adopt an attitude of gratitude and spirituality, not materialism. So this is a time where we need to really connect with the spirit, with what we long for, with the way that we want to move forward. We will be seeing our world transform if we are able to do this. Jupiter also urges us to expand our horizons and be mindful of greed taking over, which we'll get into in a little bit. The moon is going to be trine Pluto. Now, the sun in Scorpio, is ruled by Pluto. It's also ruled by Mars. So it all just comes forward during this time. And with the moon trine Pluto, the Scorpio aspect of life comes through even more. This brings spiritual and emotional sensitivity, as well as embracing and bringing to focus our psychic perception and development. We're going to be finding that we're a lot more attuned to our world, but also our psychic development, our holistic well-being and centering of self. We will feel things astoundingly powerfully during this time. We have to make sure and be aware of our emotions. There's a subconscious urge for the evolution of ourselves at a spiritual level. We're going to find that we're really pushing forward towards that. And the empowering energy of Jupiter helps us to achieve our goals while aligning ourselves with our karmic destiny and with the kind of stages to our karmic destiny, what we're moving forward in. The eclipse aspect pattern of this time is the alignment of the Sun, the Moon, Jupiter, and Pluto, which create a quadrilateral known as the animated force. Now, as this name tells us, it starts to bring things to life, not all at once, but it happens slowly, maybe not as easily as we want it to, but it happens in a very powerful way where we start to see the connections of things more openly, more honestly than before. What it does is it brings to the surface our physical, psychic, spiritual, emotional understandings, and it has us tapping into them more and more in an imaginative way, and in a perseverance way, in a practical way. And that helps us to get the job done. That helps us to really move forward towards the bigger picture of what we're going after. Just be mindful, because we're all going to have this tendency to be all or nothing, to be 150% in, or just absolutely walking away, absolutely done with things. So be mindful of this, that we can walk away from something that's really good just because it's not going as smoothly as we would like it to. Now, the fixed star Algol is going to be quite intense. It is known by some astrologers and in astrology as the most evil star in the heavens, which is quite a reputation to live up to. So just be aware of this. What it represents in constellation-wise is the head of Medusa, and Medusa was beheaded by Perseus when he killed her. So this is going to be a time where we can find it very easy to lose our heads. And this most evil star in the heavens has a tendency towards violence, extremes, misfortunes, everything that we're trying to get away from. This star can pull us back into the middle of the muck and the mire and the heartbreak of things. So just be aware of this. What we really need to be mindful of is keeping a high energy vibration, keeping our energy high, understanding, the way that we're moving forward in our lives and what we want and where we're headed. So as we are understanding this, we need to not fall into the trap of greed, because if we do, regret is going to be very big during this time. So here we have at our root, we have the Tower. This is things shaking up, and it can almost feel like chaos at times. This moon can bring us just a little bit of chaos. I actually see us kind of enjoying it, not necessarily it being a terribly bad thing, but it's kind of like it shakes up our world. It has us seeing things differently. It pushes us out of our comfort zone, and we've been looking for something. We've been searching for something, and this moon is going to have us moving towards that something that is more us than ever before. And again, it pushes us out of our comfort zone, so we start to become more just. we start to become more just to ourselves. We start to become more just, not just to the world around us, but more discerning with the energy that we're letting into our lives, more discerning with the power that is guiding us forward, more discerning with everything that is going on. And so the justice comes in, and we can have a tendency here to want to be kind of like a superhero to everybody. We have to kind of curtail that. So as we step into ourselves more and as we're embracing this change, we need to know that we're heading in a direction that we can't always plan for. And as we're being discerning with the energy that we're letting in, we're also understanding and seeing certain things about ourselves. It's like, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. We're really stepping into ourselves more and more, and we're finding a balance. So the Tower comes in, but I don't see it as a bad thing at all. It can be that there's justice after a time of complete and utter upheaval, which, okay, that's also it. Yeah, Spirit saying that's dead on. And so there is a time where like things just start to calm down, and as they calm down, we step into the power of this Taurus full moon, this Taurus lunar eclipse, this longest moon of the year. And so as we step into this power, what we're going to see here is that there is this pull towards our traditions. It's not necessarily our religious traditions or our family traditions. It's the stuff that if I don't do this, I'm not me. If I'm not, embracing this, I feel completely off kilter. And so Taurus comes in and centers us. It has us claiming our throne. It has us claiming our power. It has us claiming the keys towards the heavens and our destiny and what it is that we want. But the heavens are also handing us a gift during this time. And it leads us to us being a queen of our passion, a queen of our prosperity, a queen of the fire that moves us forward. And as we're embracing this, we're embracing ourselves. We're looking at where we want to be within our lives. We're looking at a lot of hidden things that start to come forward, a lot of things that we hadn't realized were so important to us. But now that we're embracing them, we're like, oh, wow, why did I ever doubt this? Why did I ever, move away from this? And it has us connecting with our hearts and what we are teaching those who come after us. Now, it doesn't mean that we have to have children or even want children. What it means is that we are having a connection with a generation to come after. And we're having a connection with the world as we move forward within it. And so this can just be by our energy vibration that we affect, a person in a way that we don't even realize. And they remember us as we move forward. This is a sense of love coming to the forefront, of the heart really being empowered and beauty coming forward for us and connecting with us in a very real and very powerful way. There is just very much a sense of power. The Hierophant could tell kings and queens what to do, as well as emperors. And so during this time, as we come in as the queen, as we come in as a ruler, we're going to come in a place of power, but we're also going to find that this moon very much guides us. This moon has a tendency to tell us, okay, do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that. And the way that it communicates is through that psychic connection, is through that sense of the heart speaks. And as the heart speaks, we listen, and our heart is really telling us to move forward. It's really embracing our passion and what we desire and that fire and that determination within our lives. We're going to see that we have a tendency to charge forward, and we can have a tendency to be a bit reckless. These are the fastest moving nights. So are we going to want to think things through? Absolutely not. Are we going to want to just charge forward and say, that's it, I'm going after it? Yes, that's exactly what we're going to want to do. And as we are charging forward in ourselves and in what we desire, we need to center on our passion, but we also need to align our minds and our hearts, because that's going to be really important for us. The sense of cutting through doubts and fears and negativity, the sense of there is more here than meets the eye. But also with the Knight of Swords is my fairy tale knight, the white knight that comes in and rescues. And as much as we would love somebody to come in and rescue us, it's us being the hero of our stories. It's cutting through the demons that plague us, the dragons that guard our treasure and what we greatly desire. It's the ascension of our consciousness, and it's the awakening, the sleeping princess within us, the sleeping, power within us that gets to claim its voice, that gets to move us forward. And this is going to be a time where our fire, our determination, our focus, our insight really comes into play. And it moves us to the high priestess. It moves us to the veil being lifted from our eyes. It moves us to seeing things more clearly, more openly, more honestly. And as this moon comes in Taurus, it affects us in the public arena in a way that people don't really expect, just as people don't expect to hear about Pope Joan. right? Or a female pope. What we're going to see is that there's a power that guides us. We're not seeing the masks of everybody anymore. We're seeing the truth of them as they lay almost bare, opened to us, with all secrets revealed. And it might not be as dramatic as that for most of us, though for some of us it will feel that way. It's like, how do I balance all this energy? How do I balance all this realization? How do I balance all this power? And what we're going to see here is, as the veil is lifted from our eyes, we start to claim this moon more and more. We connect more and more with our inner selves as we're connecting with our public self. And we're letting ourselves move forward in the sense of, this is who I am. This is who I need to be. This is what I desire from my life. And this is what I need from my existence. And so there's a power here and a beauty here and an intensity here that has us moving towards the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups is that sacred feminine and sacred masculine energy intertwining. It is a sense of love guiding us. It's the minor arcana Lover's card. It is a sense of beauty being a part of us. And as love guides us and beauty comes within us and shines forward, we start to see in this waking world where everything is chaotic and overwhelming, we start to see a balancing, we start to see a creativity, we start to see a beauty connecting. And that's why we have the repeat of the number 2 here, just like why we have the repeat of the Knights and we have the repeat of the Queens. Excuse me. And the repeat of the Knights within our inner selves is telling us, within our emotional selves, is telling us that it's time to move forward. It's time to let the heart embrace its passion. It's time to let the mind and the heart communicate and know that there is more here than meets the eye. With the repeat of the Queens, the sacred feminine is coming forward very powerfully within us, amplified by the High Priestess coming forward in the waking world. And this is going to be a time where we're looking at the broader scope of things. We're looking at the passionate power and the determination and the focus of where it is that we need to be. And it connects us now with our moon. This is going to show us what the moon has to say for herself. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. And show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. At our root, we have a new start is coming, the unexpected. So the power of this moon is going to last till the 4th of December, which is when the new moon comes into play. And so a new start is coming. The unexpected happens during this time as we're moving forward towards this new moon, towards the unexpected, towards the powerful. And as we're embracing everything that's coming at us, it moves us to our inner self. And this is the full moon eclipse. Release. So conclusions are within reach. The full moon eclipse is exactly what we're in. This is where we start to see our power coming into play. Conclusions are within reach because we are astoundingly powerful during this time. Release. It's time to release the negativity. It's time to release the darkness, the grayness that has been holding us back, that has been keeping us from what we truly desire. It moves us then to the emotional self, which says, what do you need to release? Which, as we are releasing, our emotions are saying, what do you need to release? And it's the place of extremes. It's where we can kind of fly off the handle here because we have that Knight energy at our heart. We have this sense of, I'm pushing forward, I'm going to conquer, I'm going to win, I'm going to, I'm going to achieve at all costs. And it's like, okay, what do you need to release? What is it that we're trying to prove to ourselves? And what are the extremes that we're going after in order to prove this? It brings us to our public arena self, which is, don't let the past hold you back. Focus. Focus on the present. Focus on the love. Focus on the beauty. Focus on the power that is within you. Because Sagittarius, here, this is a game-changing time. And this is a time where things will not remain the same. If they do, we're going to feel stagnant. We're going to feel overwhelmed. It could be just like... It could be a bit of a depression comes over us, a bit of anxiety, a bit of a, like, this dark melasmic ickiness is over us, and we're going to find that we're really releasing it. And this is a time where we start to see ourselves setting ourselves free. Our subconscious Lunar message is work through your fears, the new moon in Scorpio. So Scorpio energy comes through powerfully here. And it says work through your fears, which is where the sun is. And the sun is blocking, is causing this eclipse, almost kind of like a new moon. And it says discernment. Be discerning of the energy we let into our lives. Be discerning of the power that is before us and what we are connecting with. It is time for us to hold to our standards and hold to what we want without saying, oh, maybe I'm being too picky, or maybe I'm being too this, or maybe I'm being too that. And this is also a time where we start to look outside of our comfort zone and say, okay, well, what is it that I want? How is it that I'm moving forward? And what is it that I'm headed towards? It moves us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of, which is the Hierophant, which is Taurus energy. We need to be mindful of the power of this moon and how we can get swept up in it. It moves us to our subconscious chakra energy, balance, once again, the root chakra coming through. There's going to be a root connection during this time, a sense of grounding, a sense of understanding, but there's also a need to balance the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine within us. There's a need to balance our loves and our wants and our passions and our desires and the way that we want to move forward within our lives. And this has been a time where we could have been out of balance and we could feel it. It's like enough is enough. Now it's time for me to reclaim my life and myself. It moves us to our subconscious rooted message, which is the Wheel of Fortune. Everything is changing and we can feel that change. It's like we feel like we're on a roller coaster ride at times, highs, lows, lefts, right. But what Spirit is saying here is that things are changing and be ready for it. We then move into our subconscious inner self, which is the Page of Pentacles. We're a student now of our prosperity, of our success. We're looking at things in a totally different way. And we're taking in things in a way that we hadn't realized them before. We hadn't seen them before. It brings us, and this is a time to ask questions. This is a time where the moon makes us a student. It makes us a student because we're seeing things in such a new light. It brings us to our subconscious emotional self, and it's the Five of Cups. We're being told, change your mind and change your life. Change what it is that you focus on, and you're changing your whole entire world. It's not time to take in always our failures, our failures, our failures. It's time to turn around and see our beauty and our love and our success. It moves us to our subconscious public arena self, and it's the Four of Pentacles, vampiric energy. There's going to be a sense here of, I can't be that successful. I can't be that happy. I can't be that prosperous because of the past, because I was never supposed to be anything, because of a lover who told me I was worthless, or, I wouldn't amount to what they were, because of a parent who spoke negatively over us and who denied us our success. This is a time where we look at this, where we look at the harsh words of a teacher or a sibling or even a friend, and we say, enough is enough. I've carried this hurt and this pain and this despair around long enough, and I'm done. All right, Sagittarius. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the intensity of this lunar eclipse. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Sagittarius, and may you have a blessed moon.